Something's not right. The Army just dropped a rare duty to warn, a formal terrorism threat alert targeting retired special operations vets, and it's centered in one place, Florida. We're not talking active duty. We're not talking overseas. We're talking about right here stateside. So the question is, who the hell is hunting down our warriors and why now? Let's kind of get into it and why this. I mean, it doesn't even make sense, but we'll talk about it. You can see I got it up here. On July 17th, the U.S. Army Special Operations Commander, USASOC, issued a duty to warn notification, something that doesn't happen often for retired senior officials who previously served in Syria and Iraq theaters. Translation: if you've taken the fight to groups like ISIS or Al-Qaeda, someone might be looking for payback in your backyard. In Florida, that's the target zone. We'll get into why I speculate that is. The threat is labeled as credible, but they're tight-lipped on the source, the timeline, or specific individuals. All we know now is that this doesn't involve active duty. It's aimed squarely at retired operators, Special Forces, Rangers, Delta, anyone who held roles in the shadow war zones, okay? USASOC is telling veterans to stay vigilant, stay frosty, secure their homes, and report anything suspicious. That's not normal. That's not a drill, okay? A lot of people are concerned, as should be. Florida isn't just some random location. It's home to MacDill, SOCOM headquarters. It's full of retired pipe hitters who settled there because the climate, right? Vet-friendly state laws and proximity to bases. If you wanted to hit the nerve center of American Special Operations history, this is where you'd probably start, right? And again, you can't beat the weather. And if you're an enemy trying to demoralize the U.S. or get revenge for drone strikes, black site hits, or leadership kills in the sandbox, retired operators are symbolic targets. They're walking, talking reminders of the American dominance in that theater. Now, let me ask the question out loud that everyone's thinking. Is this real or is this some kind of setup? Why issue something this serious but keep it so vague? They love to keep it vague, don't they? Remember last year, that Chechen dude who allegedly was part of a larger cell that tried to breach the property of a Delta Force commander, active duty at that time. That wasn't a drill either. That man was eliminated on site. I covered that in depth in a video. You can go back and check it out. That was a dry run or either a failed hit, one of the two. Now, could this be duty to warn be the result of chatter, tying to that incident or something bigger? Or are they just now connecting the dots? Or is this being used to normalize something else? Just like how the Biden-era deep state used domestic terror alerts to target patriots. And we're about to see another version of that, but this time wrapped in a flag aimed at retired SOF to maybe tighten surveillance. They always say it's for your safety and security. That's your favorite tagline, right? Now, here's what they're not saying. These retired vets still have networks, knowledge, and influence. These are men who train the next generation, who ran dark missions, who don't trust the system anymore. If you're a foreign adversary or hell, even a globalist regime worried about rebellion, wouldn't you want these guys silenced, intimidated, or off the board completely? Makes sense, right? There are no coincidences in warfare. Everything is strategic, and I keep going back to the Delta Force commander when we talked about that. That guy had a Chechen, right? We don't know, but randomly worked through this company. And I did a deep dive on this. He worked through this company, this electrical company that brought people from overseas to work. And essentially, he was in flip-flops. He was not working. He was out there taking pictures of the home. And so the Delta Force commander went down there. There was some words exchanged, and he had to eliminate him. Now, the Delta Force commander was quiet. You didn't hear much more about it. But the fact of the matter is that you didn't hear anything else about it, and the Delta Force commander wasn't charged. That should tell you everything you need to know. Now, this was obviously something more. And the fact of the matter is, especially with the social media now, they could target veterans in general. They may target you. You know, you posting online and stuff like that. That's why it's important to always try to maintain a gray man persona. And who's to say if they want to send a message to go take out some of these bigger accounts, these bigger, you know, veterans that have larger followings, to really send a message. It wouldn't be that far cry for it to happen. But if you see, you know, when we look at the Marines being deployed to LA and Florida, maybe that's why they're being sent to Florida. The Marines, remember 2 weeks ago, I just did a video on that. The Marines were being sent to Florida just out of nowhere. Could this be potentially why? We had a lot of Middle Eastern folks come across the border during the Biden era, open border policy. We have been targeting the construction workers and hotel workers in the immigration raids, going to Home Depot, and haven't been targeting these guys, which is a huge problem, right? The Chinese operatives, the Chinese police stations. Why are we not targeting these people? I've seen Syrians that were talking about they were essentially planning on doing something with military experience coming across the border. You have all of this combined. Now, on the flip side, could it be some type of false flag? Maybe our greatest ally trying to start some kind of chaos through some kind of proxies, right? Proxy groups, and essentially thrust us into some type of world war. A lot of dots connecting. I mean, or if you're an outside the box thinker, it should be, but most mainstream people will never say that. They'll never even think like that. But the reality and the writing on the wall, even going into the Epstein stuff, how this stuff has been drastically covered up. Now I'm hearing that these transcripts that they're talking about releasing are the 20-year-old ones, and where Epstein admitted to nothing anyway. So it's not like we're getting to the bottom of that. And you have this just snowball effect of all these things. And, you know, the thing is that it's always important to have a community. People you can trust, people you can count on, people you can call on the phone that can have their rig ready to go and come meet you somewhere. That stuff's important, having these type of connections. And obviously the duty to warn is for special operations personnel, but I would state probably any veteran. Look at how they're trying to demask the ICE guys and so on. They may just target anybody who is a fighter of freedom. So I would definitely, all my veteran followers, take heed to that, especially special operations personnel in Florida. If you're watching, definitely take heed to that warning. And always say Frosty, Stratton, and Dangerous, man. This is a wake-up call. Whether it's ISIS, a rogue foreign cell, or something domestic in a false flag wrapper, which it very well could be, the game just escalated. And if you're a vet, especially SOF, lock it down. Tell your crew, watch your six. This isn't fear porn. This is the Army telling the most elite that someone's coming. You don't issue a duty to warn for nothing. And you remember the last time they called guys like you and I domestic threats. It wasn't to protect us. It was to silence us and put us in a group hoping to, one, cut our accounts, delete our voices, put us on lists, hoping to disarm us, maybe put us in prison, you name it. That happened. I want you to drop a comment if you've seen this chatter. If you're in Florida or if you've noticed unusual activity, share this with anyone who served. They may be a target and not even know it. Okay. Obviously, guys, the mantra here is always Frosty, Stratton, and Dangerous. It's not a punchline. That is a way you should live. Okay. Everything outside your door is a threat. And that's whether it's outside or trying to get in, like the Chechen at the Delta Force commander. So make sure you tell all your homies, let them know what's going on. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about this. I've seen some other veterans talking about it, but it's not something that's really out there in the media. So whatever this may be or may not be, regardless, stay frosty, stay strapped, stay dangerous. Black Scout out.
2, 3. 1, 2.